every time Tony, Jason, Sam go away, I seem to just manage to time it well, and I get a visit from one of my favourite people. John Campbell is here. John, how are we doing?
I'm really good. Lovely to see you. How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Well, I mean, because you keep doing these projects,
yes.
and you've got a new one now, and this one is called Under His Command, and this is going to put the cat amongst the pigeons, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about Destiny Church, and the his is Brian Tamaki, and it's about what's going on at the church, what Brian Tamaki's doing, the kind of mobilising he's doing, the increasingly public expression of his kind of anger and worldview, and whether this is good, whether it should be a charity, whether it should get tax deductibility, what's happening to the people inside the church and how they're going, what the Man Up program is up to, and whether it is as good as it could and should be. And so it's quite a big. It was an intense process making it.
Are you thinking that the bishop is going to give this a 5-star review?
I'm thinking he's going to give it a no-star review. I think it's not possible to find. I mean, I don't know if you can give negative stars. But I think
he's taking stars away from you.
Yes.
But how hard was it to get people from the inside to actually speak out?
It's one of the most exhausting in 30 years or more of being a journalist, one of the most exhausting experiences. So you would phone people. First of all, they didn't really want to hear from me, and then they would be really scared if they spoke to me.
Yeah.
I literally had people saying to me, if my husband finds out I've spoken to you, I'll get a hiding.
Oh, no.
And you don't unhear that. I had one woman say, I'd really like to talk to you, John, but Man Up know where I live. The Man Up guys know where I live. And you think, oh my God.
That's terrifying.
So you spend a lot of time on the phone, there's a lot of tears, there's a lot of terror and concern and anger, and then at the end of it, you're not able to put these people on camera. So journalism is essentially storytelling, and in order to storytell, you have to have people who are prepared to tell their stories. These people wanted to tell their stories, but weren't able to because they were so scared of the consequences. So it was a highly unusual way of working, and you're just going through this process of people opening up to you, crying, telling their stories, being terrified, and then at the end of it, you can't. In good faith, you can't put them on camera. So we had to find a different way of telling it. I think we have.
And in some ways, are you surprised that this is happening in New Zealand?
Yeah, I'm a little bit. And it's really interesting. You go back to the 90s when Destiny Church was Lake City Church in Rotorua. So that's where it all began. And we got some footage that's roughly 30 years old. And it's a very different organisation. It's kind of happy clappy. There's a lot of joy, a lot of laughter, a lot of smiling. And then you fast forward 30 years to the kind of raid on the library in Te Atatu and the raid on the Pride Parade in Ponsonby and and you think, okay, how did we go from one position, which was a conservative Christian but kind of sweet church, into this place of immense, almost incendiary anger?
Well,
what the hell has happened?
Like, where does the anger come? Like, it's just, there is a lot. It seems like there's a lot of anger coming out of that church. It does seem like, especially like I say, from where its origins were to how it is now it's just so much anger.
The people I spoke to are increasingly of a view that this is Brian Tamaki's marketing niche, that he's found the gap in the market. And the thing, and he talks about it. He actually talks about raids on drag queen story times or drag king story times in libraries being, quote, and this is a word he uses, his quote ticket. In other words, it gets him the attention. So. And you see what happened in 2004 with the Enough is Enough march against civil unions, and that felt like a turning point. He got noticed. A lot of people turned up and walked on Parliament with him. He got media attention. He got interviewed, and I think one of the insiders I spoke to was just so fantastic because this person had a real insight into the history of Destiny and its various manifestations. Said, this is our business model now. Anger is our niche.
Wow.
And so it's about being noticed, I guess, getting attention.
Did you try and get an interview with Brian for this?
Repeatedly.
Yeah.
And I guess I'd like to say on the record, I'm really surprised that a man who feels that he's able to mobilise and encourage people to raid libraries and go to pride parades and is able to talk to some media consistently refused to talk to me. He wouldn't give me an interview. And then because we needed to get answers to questions, there's some complex things here and maybe some things that we need to understand better. So we emailed him questions and said, look, feel free to answer in writing. He didn't. I'm surprised by that. This is a guy with a lot to say. They came back they sent us an email saying that they didn't want to talk to me because I'm not a journalist, I'm a muckraker. But I feel he should have spoken.
Yes. Well, it is called Under His Command, and I feel like this is going to be a fascinating... Now, how many parts is it?
5 parts, JT.
Thank
parts.
You. Five parts. Whee! It's out now on TVNZ Plus. So if you would like to watch it and see what you think about this, because I think everyone will want to, because it's a fascinating topic. So we're going to hear about this. Under His Command, John Campbell, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. It's really lovely to see you.
Yeah, it always is.
Thank you, and it's wonderful to be on the wireless with you. Thanks, JT.